If your gas stovetop is looking a little greasy and grimy, let me show you the best way to get it nice and clean. The first step is to disassemble the cooktop. Now, before you start moving anything around, a quick pro tip is to snap a picture of your cooktop before you do this. That way you know exactly how everything goes back together. There's a lot of components on gas cooktops and they can be a little bit tricky sometimes, especially if this is your first time cleaning it. So I just want to make this as easy as possible. Start by removing the grates, the burner caps, and the burner heads. Now, this part is so important in my experience because like I mentioned before, there's a ton of components with these and grease and grime likes to hide in all those cracks and crevices. So we definitely want to remove that during our deep clean. Now, the other thing is if you leave old grease and grime behind in your kitchen and maybe some of these areas here that it's hiding that you don't necessarily see, it's gonna create stinky odors in your kitchen and it's gonna kind of just smell like old gross food, and we don't want that. We want everything smelling great. The next step is to soak all of those components that we just took off. Now first, the sink here is a little bit small and I can't fit everything in there. So what I like to use in this situation is just a plastic tote like this one here. We're gonna fill this up with some warm water. Now, the type of soap that I use kind of depends on how dirty the stovetop is. Now this one actually isn't so bad. I kind of say it's like between a 1 and a 5 on our mesometer. For that, I'm just gonna use some Dawn dish soap. Now, if it's more of like a 5 to a 8, I would suggest using Dawn's Professional Heavy Duty Degreaser. That stuff rocks, but it's just very strong. You don't always need to use it. Now, if it's at level 10, stick around because I have a solution for that. So while we wait for everything to soak and for the soap to do the work for us, I like to come through and clean the stovetop. And the first step is to always vacuum up any large debris or crumbs that is on the stovetop. And for that, I like to use a vacuum cleaner with a soft bristle brush attachment. This just makes it quick and easy and sucks up all those crumbs. There's usually a ton on there. And that way our next few steps of cleaning it are so much easier. For cleaner, I like to use Dawn Power Wash. Now, if you can't get your hands on this, that's okay. Just a good degreaser like a dish soap will work as well. I just feel like this does it a little bit quicker and easier for me. We're gonna spray it down evenly across the cooktop here and then come through with a non-scratch scrub sponge. If you watched my videos before, you know I'm gonna say I love to use a scrub daddy or a scrub mommy for this. We can warm them up in some water. They're nice and delicate. They're not gonna cause any scratching, but they are gonna be tough enough to cut through grease and grime. Now, something to look out for with this type of cooktop compared to like a glass or even electric coil is you'll notice there are holes here. That's where the gas comes up, obviously. We don't want to spray cleaner down in there or even scrub it down there, so just be careful to stay away from those. I also like to use my handy dandy toothbrush to scrub out some of the grease and grime that falls down by the starter and around the openings on the cooktop. Now, if yours is really, really bad and has some burnt on food there that you can't quite scrub away, what I do suggest is to come through with a razor blade scraper. Now, a razor blade scraper works wonders. It's almost like a secret tool or like the missing key sometimes when you just can't quite get an area clean with grease and grime. However, there are a few things I always mention no matter what every time you use them. The first is that you want to make sure to lubricate the surface with your cleaner. Never scrape on it dry. The second is to always use a fresh new blade. If your blade has any rust on it, that will scratch the surface, and we don't want that. So now that everything is nice and scrubbed up and we pretty much got all of that grease and grime suspended, essentially what that means is just the soap bubbles kind of grab it there. It's time to come through and rinse everything really good. Now we want to make sure to remove all the soap from the surface. We don't want to leave any of that behind because it can dry sticky, which will attract more dirt and grime over time, and also can kind of leave streaks and things on the surface, especially if yours at home is kind of like this one here where it's black. It just will really like to streak out easy if there's soap left behind. Now once everything is nice and rinsed, I always like to come through with a dry, clean microfiber towel and just wipe down and just buff the entire surface. This is just gonna make sure everything's not only nice and dry, but there's also no streaks left behind. So now that the cooktop is nice and clean, it's time to come back and start scrubbing on all the components here that we've had soaking. Now, I will say, depending on how dirty yours is at home, this is definitely the part of the clean where you're gonna need quite a bit of elbow grease. Now for scrubbing, I like to use either just a scrub daddy or a scrub mommy, or you can even use a brush if that works easier for you. But you will run across a few areas that kind of just have that burnt on grease and grime you can't quite remove with those. And for that, I like to suggest using a steel Scour Daddy. These are actually made by Scrub Daddy. Now, something to keep in mind, these will scratch delicate surfaces, so be very careful with these, but these just have that little steel added to the scrubbing power that can cut through that baked on grease and grime and remove it from the cast iron. Now when it comes to cleaning the burner heads, I like to use a handy dandy toothbrush just because it works really well to kind of get in all those nooks and crannies. And because again, these have been soaking in the dish soap here, most of the grease and grime is nice and loosened up. So after a quick scrub here and rinse, they'll look as good as new. I also like to scrub the burner tops. As you can see, I had a few burnt bits on mine, but after a few scrubs, everything cleaned up great. Now these grates here have scrubbed up amazing, but remember at the beginning of the video, I mentioned there is another method I would use if they're on like the 8 to 10 on the mesometer, and that is ammonia. Now what I do is you just take the grates, put them in a heavy duty garbage bag, and add about 1/3 cup of ammonia to that bag. Now personally, I also like to put them in a bin just so that doesn't spill anywhere. And you're just gonna let those sit overnight or as long as you can, preferably like 2 or 3 hours. What happens here is the off gas of the ammonia actually does the cleaning for you, and it loosens up the grease and grime, helping it to separate from the surface of the grates. That way when you come through and give it a quick scrub, they clean up much easier. Now the reason I don't like to just suggest this one right off the bat is ammonia is strong and it's pretty heavy duty, and many times you can get these nice and clean, like I said, with just a little bit of dish soap like we did today. But if yours are really bad, I would definitely give that a try. So now that everything has been nice and scrubbed, rinsed, and is clean, these things are looking much better than where we started. The final step with really anything cast iron is to always come through and thoroughly dry everything. If you don't do this, what happens is it's going to rust, and we don't want that because we just spent time getting them nice and clean. So just grab a towel, preferably that's clean and dry, wipe them all down so we don't leave any water behind. Now the final step for the cast iron, and you don't have to do this at home if you don't want to, I just feel like it really levels up the clean, and that is to grab some oil, whether it's avocado oil or just olive oil, and a piece of paper towel, and apply a thin layer across all the cast iron. Now what this is going to do is help prevent things like rust, plus it makes them look amazing. Once you're done oiling all the cast iron, it's time to reassemble the cooktop. Now to do this, I just grabbed that photo that we took at the beginning, give that a quick look to make sure I put everything back the way it was. Now there are a few things I like to recommend to keep your stovetop as clean as possible. It's usually best to wipe down the stovetop after each use just with a damp microfiber towel. Now, if you do notice any spills or splatter, make sure to wipe those up too before they harden and that grease and grime really gets attached to the surface here. And then the third is just to do this on a more regular basis. Now, do you have to submerge everything and go through this deep clean every month? No, probably not. But if you do it every, let's say, twice a year, you'll be in a great spot. And there you have it. This gas cooktop looks great. Thanks so much for watching today. As always, if you have any questions, definitely drop a comment down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. I also need to give a huge shout out to the Clean Squad members over on our Patreon. Thank you so much for your continued support of Clean That Up. If you want to join us over there, definitely check the link down in the description. And as always, I'll see you on the next clean.